Really an important update from Georgia coach Kirby Smart on Saturday night about Georgia and who's going to play in these games. In this game, the Sugar Bowl, the Peach Bowl coming up. A lot of mistakes from me right now. And he went through a lot of those names, and I'm going to go over each guy and really the reason why it makes sense for them to play or not to play. Dean Legge from Dog Post, making you a smarter Georgia fan, and the Peach Bowl is Friday, so not that far away. Make sure you go to dogpost.com to get all of your updates. We'll have all of the information you need for this game, a top 10 matchup between Cincinnati and the Dogs. And then really the big news is that it looks like Georgia's defensive line is going to basically be intact. Azeez Ojulari, who is draft eligible going into he's a junior right now. Excuse me, he's a sophomore, but this is his third year out of Marietta. So he can play. And you've got Jordan Davis, who has really looked, I guess, hard at the NFL, and probably still will look at it. But the rumblings I get is that Jordan will be coming back, at least for now. And then you've also got Devontae Wyatt playing in this game. It looks like Devontae could come back possibly for a senior season repeat. That's a lot of guys playing in this game that there was no certainty that they would play. I mean, Azeez, when you look at the Azeez situation, could be a top 50 guy in the NFL draft coming up. A very good pass rusher, maybe not a every down linebacker or defensive end in the NFL. We'll just see what happens there. But he didn't have to play in the Peach Bowl at all. And then a couple of other guys. I mean, Mark Webb, Kirby says, is going to play in the game, which I think, I don't know why he wouldn't play in the game, personally. I don't know why McKitty is not playing in the game, but he may know something. There may be something that I don't know. That happens all the time. And then Richard LeCount, it looks like he's trying to play in this game. Richard and Monty Rice, who I'll touch on in a second here, both are guys who a year ago at the Sugar Bowl were very adamant that they wanted to win that game. They wanted to get things back to the way they felt like they should be. And they were very aggravated with the loss to Texas the year before. So the sort of beating of Baylor the way they did a year ago, that was a big deal to both Richard and Monty. So let's just see if Richard is healthy enough to play in this game. Then you've got the guys who, are not going to play in this game. And there are four of them. Trey McKitty, as I mentioned earlier. I don't think I mentioned Trey earlier. Trey McKitty is not playing in this game, according to Kirby Smart. I'm not sure I know enough about that situation to say one way or the other. I mean, I don't know. I think he's a guy that could play, but I don't think either way one game's going to make a big difference for him. When you look at Ben Cleveland, who's dealing apparently with a shoulder injury, Ben's played a lot of games for Georgia. And, Ben's been committed to Georgia since the summer of 2015. That's a long time. This would be his 6th calendar year of playing a football game or being committed to Georgia. That's a long, long, long time. I remember going to watch Ben for the first time, I think it was in 2013 or 14 when he was playing Stevens County. So Ben's been around the block. And he, this guy, an all-SEC guy this year. I mean, what's he, particularly if he's hurt, what's the point of playing, These guys got to get ready for what will be a strange NFL draft situation. I don't know what the story will be on the combine, how institutional workouts will work out. So Ben is another guy that's looking like, man, can he be a top 100 guy? Can he be a top 50 guy? He's trying to become both those things. And for Ben, if he's got a shoulder situation, why play? Monty Rice. I mean, Monty Rice has not been himself this season in many ways because of the foot injury that he had earlier this year. It's been hobbling him. I remember watching him before the Kentucky game try to get ready to play in that game, and he was out there way before everybody else. And it's just, if something's messed up with your foot and you're still trying to play, it's not like a shoulder. You got to constantly walk. You don't always have to use your shoulder. You can work out and not use your shoulder. Football, it's hard to play or practice football without, constantly dealing with your foot giving you trouble. So for me, I completely understand why, Monty wouldn't play. And then the final guy is Eric Stokes, who looks like he certainly could be a first-round draft pick. And if you're Eric, this is not a playoff game. What do you benefit from playing this game? I'm not saying, what you benefit by not playing is not playing. Like, your career is done. You're not going to get injured playing, all that stuff. So, for someone who was a 3-star commit, a late commitment to the Dogs, and who has been developed by this staff, people have to decide what their risk-reward, application, I guess you could say, for this scenario is. For Eric, I just don't see a point in doing it. With DeAndre Baker, he did not play in the Sugar Bowl, and it didn't hurt him. He went on to go to be a first-round draft pick. So for Eric, to me, it makes a lot of sense to just go. Again, as I say, the two guys that stick out to me are Trey McKitty and Mark Webb. I don't know why. I mean, I understand completely why Mark Webb's playing, and I don't know that I understand why Trey McKitty's not playing. But in both cases, they're at the end of their eligibility, and they have to maximize their situation as best possible. For Mark, it may be that he feels like if he has one more good, 60 minutes of tape, that could help him. For McKitty, he may say, hey, listen, I'm good. I don't need to worry about it anymore. I've got a Senior Bowl invite. We're good. I don't know. But for all of these guys, to me, Ben in particular, Eric Stokes in particular, and Monty Rice, those three guys in particular, in terms of playing or not playing, I totally get why they are in the boat that they're in. Ben has played enough snaps. We know what Ben Cleveland can do. For Aziz playing, I expect Aziz to go to the NFL draft. We've not been told that. I can't report that, but that's my expectation. So for Aziz to play in this game, he may, for a guy who's probably, borderline first-round guy, probably a top 50 guy, maybe one more good game, people seeing his twitch and like his get off and all that, maybe that will help him. Maybe he views it like, hey, look, I don't want to be there's a big difference in the NFL between a first round and second round. Second and third, first and second, there's a huge difference. Will the 60 minutes that Aziz has on Saturday push him into being a first round guy, a late first round guy? I don't know. I'm not a football GM. I'm not a GM. I'm not in the scouting department. That's not my job. That's not what I do. I think he is a specialty player and can do some serious damage in the NFL, particularly on third down situations. So, and having met, all this, Aziz, Richard, and definitely Ben, well before they went to Georgia, their dream has been to go to the NFL. Of course, it involved playing at Georgia along the way, but that's concluded. They didn't get a playoff, and they knew that. So, this makes sense to me, for the most part, and that's why I think if there's disappointment or whatever, you gotta think about the kids' perspective, the players' perspective, these young men. What makes the most sense for them? And I think in all these cases, except a couple, I don't know totally the understanding, and I don't want to speak to it. These make sense. These decisions make sense. So Georgia will take on Cincinnati here in a couple of days at the Peach Bowl. Make sure you're checking out a guy who's signed with the Dogs. That's Brock Vandergrift's playlist. Check out all of his plays. We're adding to that. So if you've seen the playlist once, it may not be completely everything that you've seen because we continue to update and add to that. Thanks for watching. Go to the website, Dean Legge for Dog Post, making you a smarter Georgia fan. We'll see you on the website.